My name is Alexandria Guy. And I am doing an informative speech on depression. Depression is not okay. Depression is a common disorder that affects an estimated 3.8% of the world's population. This disease will affect you emotionally, mentally, and physically, and will come without a warning. There are many different types of depression, including major depressive disorder, or MDD, postpartum depression, and persistent depression disorder, just to name a few. Today, I will provide you with important information on one of the most degenerative yet harmful forms of depression, major depressive disorder. First, I know what you all are thinking. What is depression and how would it affect me? Can you look at someone and tell right off if they're suffering from depression? The answer is no, and that's because people are good at hiding it. Common symptoms of depression include feeling down, fatigue, and confusion. Depression not only affects you, but it affects your loved ones. If you are a parent, 9 times out of 10, your children will notice that you are yourself, even if you are good at hiding it. Doing regular activities can also be very challenging due to the negative effects depression has on you. There are many things that can trigger depression, including stress, mental issues, and genetics. The economy can also greatly push someone into depression. Trust me, I know, and I've been there before, and it's not a good place. Imagine getting laid off from your promising job. Now, how will you take care of your family or pay your bills? Many Americans are, and people all around the world are faced with similar hardships and fall victim of depression, unfortunately. Next, I will elaborate on one of the most common yet very harmful forms of depression, major depressive disorder. Major depressive disorder, also known as MDD, is a form of depression that over time has a negative impact on parts of your body such as your brain and neurological activity. According to an article published on ADAA.org on depression, major depressive disorder affects more than 16.1 million American adults a year. That's about 6.7% of the world's or America's population. Major depressive disorder is more seen in women rather than men, although it can occur at any age. Also, according to an article published on ADAA.org on depression, it's mostly seen onset at age 30 or older. Major depressive disorder can also greatly affect your brain. According to WebMD.com, several parts of the brain can shrink. Over time, specific areas called gray matter will lose its gray matter volume, or GMV. The hippocampus is the portion of the brain that controls the memory and learning. It also connects the response to stress hormones, making the brain and body very vulnerable to depression. The more severe your major depressive disorder is, the greater the gray matter volume that is affected. This can damage your way of thinking and thought process altogether. When your brain shrinks, unfortunately, it can be irreversible if you aren't careful to catch it in time. According to CDC.gov, there are a reported 47,511 deaths due to suicide, and major depressive disorder does play a big role in these increasing numbers. Lastly, we will take a look at treatment options available and the statistics of people that receive treatment versus the ones who don't. First, I have a graph of the statistics of the adults versus the youth in the unknown. Next, we have a table. We see the adults, there was approximately 25% that did not receive treatment versus the 74% that did. In the youth, there were 60% versus the 40% that did receive treatment. And in unknown, we saw that it was 15%. And these are statistics of 2019. Again, this is of the major depressive disorder. And this is how someone that can look that's suffering. They're in a dark room alone by themselves. There are many treatment options available for major depressive disorder, but the first step is acknowledging something is wrong and seek help. Medical diagnosis of major depressive disorder is very important before treatment can begin. After being diagnosed, you should consult your physician for the best treatment options available and nearest to you. Unfortunately, every person that is diagnosed does not receive proper treatment. For people who do get treatment in time, it is a 70% chance of slowing the effects that the disease has on the body. Forms of treatment include antidepressants, cognitive behavior therapy, and if resources are unavailable, you can always call the National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP, and that's for American residents. To summarize, depression can be triggered for many different incidents. Major depressive disorder is a form of depression that can be very deadly if not taken seriously. Depression not only affects you, but also everyone around you. Lastly, there are many treatment options available, and the effects of major depressive disorder can be reversed if caught early on. Remember, depression is not okay, and you are not alone. Thank you.